All right, another popular fighter on display in our next bout. It's women's professional MMA in the bantamweight division at 135 pounds. This presented by Frankie's Body Shop. It's Shamir Peshewa, Hello Kitty, making her pro debut, making that jump from KMAA out of Knoxville, Tennessee, taking on Natalie King from Columbia, South Carolina. Natalie King, Shamir Peshewa, our next bout here at Valor Fights 47. There's going to be just a minute delay as they clear off the cage a little bit. Casey, let's talk about this matchup, Shamir and Natalie. It's time for Shamir, isn't it? She was ready to make this move to the pros.
I'll tell you what, absolutely. And she's been talking about it for about a year, and this was the time that was right here in her hometown of Knoxville, Tennessee, at the Civic Coliseum. And she has worked long and hard for it. One of the most popular fighters in the region, and rightly so, in and out of the cage. And she's going to have a tall test ahead of her in Natalie King, of course, a professional boxer who just got the first knockout of her career in professional boxing just a few weeks ago. And she comes in off of a big mixed martial arts victory against Ashley Samples, who is very, very renowned in a fight that I called it, and I had picked Ashley Samples to win. She made me eat my words, did Natalie King. So, yes, this is going to be a tremendous matchup here tonight.
Shamir Peshewa 4-5 as an amateur, and she is making the move up. And boy, some of her victories, though, were in emphatic and dominant fashion over Savannah Schaefer and Hannah Ellsworth, Dana Moreland. So Shamir is ready. She looks in terrific shape. You saw them face off in the at the weigh-in last night as well. What did you think about the face-off between the two?
I think that Shamir is always charismatic. She always brings the show. And I think that Natalie King is very stoic. When you talk with her, she's like that Michael Myers style. She's right there. You can hit her with a 2x4, and she's going to keep coming forward. She's not going to get mad about it. She's just going to be focused and driven.
All right. Well, they were doing some cleanup into the cage. I think that's still taking place. We'll take you to our next bout here in just a moment. Don't forget our main event still on the way. Jason King against Stephen Hague. Alex Riggs versus Keith Olson in our co-main event here at Valor Fights 47 live at flowcombat.com. Subscribe, as many of you are right now, and you get access to future fights, past fights. You get the archive and all of the fight sports on the Flow Combat platform, which is an unbelievable value. So we appreciate those of you that are already aware of that, and tell your friends and get everybody else, subscribed so they can take advantage and enjoy our many upcoming great events like this one here tonight in Knoxville. This great venue, the Knoxville Civic Coliseum. I'm Vince Ferrara alongside Casey Oxendine. As we're at Valor Fights 47, I think we're getting ready to go in 1 second. Doug Usher, active MMA fighter. Doug, what's next for you?
Looks like we may have something lined up in Atlanta for March the 9th. Got an opponent, but he's got a fight coming up on the 27th of this month, and I'll have to see if he wins. If he wins, then we're still going to fight him, but if he loses, then we're going to select someone else. We want to fight good competition with winning records. Right now, my last 2 victories, I've defeated my opponents that were both had winning records. Very tough guys. One of them was a Bellator vet also. Yep. So I'm riding a 4-fight win streak right now. I'm currently 8-1 in my last 9 fights. I'm 8-3 overall, and I have 1 win by unanimous decision, 1 win by submission, and the rest are KO TKO.
We've seen you do that.
Yeah.
Casey and I have seen you do that a time or two.
That's good, Billy. Let's go.
All right. So the clean up to all of the blood that we saw, it was quite a mess in there after our last bout. But we're ready to go. Natalie King versus Shamir Peshewa. Here is Jennifer.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is time for our feature bout of the evening. This is a professional women's mixed martial arts bout in the bantamweight division, contested at 135 pounds. Brought to you by Frankie's Body Shop. First, please welcome to the cage, Natalie King.
Natalie King is first out in this women's bantamweight bout, professional MMA. This presented by Frankie's Body Shop. Natalie King, 1-0 out of Robinson Neal Boxing Academy in Columbia, South Carolina. And Casey, you mentioned she's already picked up a pro boxing victory.
Yeah, absolutely. It was just a few weeks ago, and she came out in style, got the knockout. And I was speaking with her earlier. You know, she said she started her boxing career to make ends meet. You know, she knew she had a tough chin, and so she went out there and had some pro boxing matches. At the beginning, it didn't turn out so well for her. But then she realized she liked it, and she got in with a real boxing gym and developed those skills, and then moved right on into professional mixed martial arts. And of course, I saw her in action again against Ashley Samples, and I assumed, well, she's a boxer with a losing record. She's going to get taken down and swamped here. That was not the case. She put the pressure on Ashley Samples, controlled the clinch, controlled the striking range, and did what she had to do to pick up that victory in her pro debut. And now she moves in at 1-0 to face Knoxville's most popular fighter in Shamir Peshewa.
We'll talk about Shamir in a second, and you're going to notice the loud applause she's going to get when Jennifer Oxenine introduces her. Who does Natalie King remind you of stylistically, size-wise?
Natalie King kind of helps me. She favors Annie DeCrescente.
Right.
We've called her fights before. Just good pressure, solid game all around.
King is in the cage. Listen to the reaction when Jennifer introduces the next fighter.
And her opponent, making her way to the cage, please welcome Shamir Peshewa.
And the arena erupts here for the Hella Kitty.
She will come through, bust through. You see the logo there with a curtain. Fans await Shamir to come through. She comes out dancing. That is Hella Kitty right there. Pro debut out of KMAA. Of course, the unbelievable camp there. You get to work alongside Invicta vet Emily Prince and Ovince St. Peru from the UFC. What else stands out about Shamir?
Well, Shamir has a very well-rounded game. She works on her striking. She is a pedigreed grappler. She works on everything you possibly can. But what really stands out in her camp there is at KMAA, they have a tremendous lineup and roster of WMMA talent for her to work with. Of course, we saw Olivia Parker earlier this evening with the size advantage over Shamir, but then also the smaller competitors like Christina Ricker and Invicta veteran Emily Prince.
Take a look at the tail of the tape in this women's professional bantamweight bout presented by Frankie's Body Shop. Natalie King and Shamir Peshewa. Shamir 3 years younger than Natalie King, 4 inches taller than King. King does have one fight as a professional while Shamir is making her pro debut. King weighed in at 137, Peshewa at 138. Crowd reacts as Shamir's in the cage, charismatic as ever, ready for her pro debut. Back to Jennifer.
This bout is scheduled for 3 5-minute rounds. First, fighting out of the red corner, she weighed in at 137 pounds, holds a professional undefeated record of 1 win with 0 losses, and fights out of Robinson Neal Boxing Academy in Columbia, South Carolina, Natalie King. And her opponent across the cage to my left, fighting out of the blue corner. She weighed in at 138 pounds, fights out of KMAA in Knoxville, Tennessee, and tonight she is making her professional mixed martial arts debut, Shamir Hella Kitty Peshewa. Your referee when the action begins is Barry O'Neill.
Barry O'Neill, our referee, in his female bantamweight bout at 135. Natalie King in the short black trunks and black top. Shamir Peshewa, black trunks, white top. 3 5-minute rounds here at Valor Fights 47, Knoxville Civic Coliseum. They touch gloves, and we're underway live at flowcombat.com. 2 completely different demeanors as well, Casey.
Undoubtedly. Like I mentioned, Natalie King, a stone cold killer here, just moving forward and putting the pressure on. No emotion in those eyes, which is a stark contrast to Shamir, who is such a character. You see her on those wheels moving around. Shamir with a right kick, followed up with a left kick. Natalie King counters. One thing I've never seen is the ground game of Natalie King, and that is where Shamir excels tremendously. She's a pedigreed grappler, a champion, if you will. So I'm anxious to see how it goes, if it goes to the mat. That being said, here we are.
Right on cue.
Natalie King doing what she needs to do. She up on that elbow. She needs to stay up there.
Minute gone by in round one. Doug, what have you seen early on?
It's like Shamir is she got a pretty good half guard position on top here. She's got kind of trying to flatten out Natalie King. She's trying to flatten her out a little bit. Looks like now she may be trying to pass into the to the side control.
Maybe looking for an arm triangle here.
She was almost able to step through to a mount.
Well, Casey, you wanted to see what King had on the ground. We're finding out.
Well, she is thwarting Shamir for the time being, but Shamir is in a good spot, and she's gonna look for that arm triangle. She's gonna try to pull it off even from the half guard. Putting that pressure in now is Shamir Peshewa, and now advancing to mount here, and then dismounting. That is tight.
That's gonna be it.
Will Natalie King have to tap here?
King, face getting red.
But still undaunted. Natalie King's face, is crimson red now, turning purple, and she is still fighting.
Yep, she's still moving. I've not seen a tap yet. Barry O'Neill looking in close.
Now Shamir adjusting. Shamir's got to watch. She doesn't want to blow out her biceps here. That can easily happen. Now stepping over is Shamir Peshewa, and Natalie King is free.
Wow.
Free, but not out of the fire yet.
Corner wanted elbows from Shamir. I wasn't able to unleash him. King trying to get up.
Shamir in a great spot, and still just under 2 minutes left in this first round.
Well, completely getting to the mat completely changed the first round because it looked like King might have had the early advantage in the stand-up.
Yeah, I believe that King may have the advantage in the striking prowess. She is a professional boxer, and she can take a good shot too. So even when Shamir fires off and lands, you know, she's very durable. In this situation, Shamir is definitely the dominant competitor when it comes to the ground skill. But now Natalie King back to the feet.
I'm trying to separate.
And I got to give props to both of these ladies right now, because Shamir for doing what she needed to do to get it to the ground, but to Natalie King for getting out of a tough spot. And now it's back in the center of the cage.
See what King can do in the stand-up. She is dangerous there.
Oh, big right hand by Natalie King. Shamir needs to watch with that right kick because she is getting countered each and every time. Shamir's got a great chin, but you don't want to test it in mixed martial arts competition.
If she can avoid some damage here because of how much she stayed in the top position on the ground, she may be able to win the round.
And like I said, she could have burnt out one of her biceps there going after that arm triangle. It's very easy to do.
King with the neck of Shamir.
And with the closing moments here, I'm having a hard time deciding who's winning this round. Shamir so dominant with that submission attack, but Natalie King has landed some big shots.
Final seconds, smart by Shamir to tie King up, right?
Yes, and she needs to continue that process.
Because it slowed down King's advantage. He was starting to get back, going in a groove in the stand-up. Wow, so Guys, Doug, start with you. Who would you give that first round to?
I'd have to give Shamir the edge because she spent a lot of time controlling Natalie on the ground. Shamir has to stop running forward and throwing that same kick over and over and over without setting it up, because she's getting met with a right hand every time she does that. And that's actually scoring pretty well for Natalie. So Shamir needs to kind of abandon that technique and go to something else next round.
Casey, you take us to this replay here.
Well, here it is. It was in Natalie King's world. Here comes the kick. Here comes the counter right hand. And we saw that over and over again, probably 3 or 4 times. You know, if you had asked me a year ago who won that round, undoubtedly it would have been Shamir. That this day and age, the scoring criteria is damage first. And if you can't call damage, then next comes aggression and control. So in my estimation, Natalie King inflicted more damage. But that being said, Shamir was so close to finishing the round, finishing the fight with that arm triangle.
Do you think that's the case throughout MMA judging in all states and all levels?
I think that that's what everybody's going to. That is the new protocol, is damage is primary.
All right, underway, round number 2, scheduled for 3 5-minute rounds, pro MMA bantamweight division. Side kick to the midsection of King. Shamir keeping her distance, and now a smile to King. She's having fun. She'll smile, win or lose. Shamir on her wheels. King trying to cut off Shamir as she smiles and circles to her right. Kick again, met with the right from King. King not as active, right, with her striking?
You know, I think that she is finding her timing. She is, you know, she definitely knows that she was in a tough spot there. She doesn't want to end up on the ground. But I think that both of these ladies put a high work rate out there in that first round.
Shamir trying to lure Doug. Is she trying to lure King in?
I'm not sure. She's circling to her right and throwing the same kick over and over.
Oh, that was a stiff left hook there by Natalie King. Again, I would caution Shamir Peshewa to watch throwing that right leg kick. What she's doing now is what she should be doing, is keeping that close and looking for the takedown if it's there.
Doug, what can King do to get unleashed here?
Go back to her boxing, what was working for her in the first round. She's clearly the better striker on the feet, especially within the when it comes to throwing the punches.
Knee, and
she's a much better boxer. Shamir's not using her hands; she's just throwing kicks. So if I was Natalie, I would just stick to my boxing, close the distance, box when she tries to clinch. When Shamir tries to clinch, back out.
Shamir Peshewa, known for her work at Frankie's Body Shop. You can see that she's still on her wheels. Great footwork out of Shamir Peshewa, moving about this massive Valor Fights cage.
Approach the midway point of round number 2. King a little combo.
Oh, a big takedown by Shamir.
Huge.
Into crossbody position. And the guard recovery by Natalie King. We've not seen the guard from Natalie King. She was taken down directly into crossbody, half guard. Anxious to see how she utilizes this traditional guard position.
King, those heels.
Slinging those spurs.
But this is definitely in Shamir's favor.
Now you're in a spot here. How long will she be able to kind of be in this position? Shamir is going to have to constantly and actively be looking to set up those strikes past that guard. It looks like she may be looking for that right now.
King looking to stand up here. She's got that elbow planted in the mat. But Shamir's climbing up on her.
Shamir with a lot of pressure now on Natalie King, doing exactly what she needs to do.
Going to the back.
Sinking one hook. Natalie King wisely shifting her back to the cage to prevent that from happening.
So this is eating time in a control position for Shamir.
I think so, but in the same token, Natalie King has landed so many shots on the feet. Oh, here we go, though. Looking for the rear naked choke is Shamir Peshewa. What I was saying is that if Shamir doesn't inflict enough damage here, then it's going to be up in the air because Natalie King inflicted so much damage on the feet.
Climbs the back.
Now it's a good position. That changes everything. Now Shamir.
Oh, King's out.
And then King out again.
Can King get enough offense here to close out this round and sway the judges or get a finish?
And another takedown by Shamir Peshewa.
Wow. Crowd reacting, knowing how important that was.
Half guard.
Elbows by Shamir.
Yeah, and those are really going to make a point here. Do a lot of damage, and really your best tool when you're in the ground position for a professional fighter.
Shamir Peshewa. Impressive. Maybe a little bloody nose, but as long as she wins the round, and she very well may have done that. Doug, what do you think?
I would kind of lean on scoring that round kind of even, but when Shamir secured that last single leg takedown, that probably put her over the edge in that round because wrestlers rule, wrestlers universal rule, takedowns in rounds. So I would probably edge that round out to Shamir.
Casey, take us to this replay.
Well, there it is. You see that beautiful takedown, and that was a high-impact takedown too, and so that's going to score a little bit more.
Casey, what do you think? How would you score that second round?
I would give that one to Shamir as well because she did have that ground and pound pressure. She had the 2 takedowns, and then she had that ground and pound pressure there at the end, started to implement the elbows, and she really made her presence felt there in the closing moments, and I think that speaks to the judges. In my estimation, this might be 1 apiece, but it could also be 2 for Shamir. It may be Natalie King that needs to look for the finish.
I kind of think Shamir's up 2 rounds to none. And King had, you're right, she had some clean shots. Not a ton of them, though, until before Shamir took her down. Nobody's having more fun in this arena than Shamir Hello Kitty Peshewa.
Well, perhaps her fans, they're going crazy.
Knoxville Civic Coliseum, Valor Fights 47, live at flowcombat.com. And they exchange here to start round 3. Again, Shamir circles. Stays away. King stalking. Shamir trip. King on the attack.
And Shamir wisely steps away right there. Could have been an opportunity for Shamir to take it back to the ground yet again.
Good decision by King to let her get up too and take this back to the stand-up. Shamir still committed to those kicks though.
Like Shamir's got a hematoma growing over that right eye of hers.
Natalie King,
puffy.
And Natalie King unable to cut off Shamir. Now she starts to close in on her. But Shamir doing really good, staying active on those wheels, making Natalie King chase.
It's kind of hard to fight someone that's constantly standing in front of you.
Oh, beautiful slip there. Looking for the takedown is Shamir. Looking for the hip toss.
See if King tries to separate a couple shots of the body. Shamir showing the damage on her face, but still smiling.
Yeah, she's constantly smiling at her the entire fight. Just got to play mind tricks on you.
I don't think it's intentional. That's just her personality.
She loves what she does.
Yep. Shamir able to keep King at distance a little bit.
game has been, again, the footwork of Shamir Peshewa. She is back and forth, waiting for Natalie to really commit on one of those punches, and she's been really exceptional at shooting underneath those.
Well, if King can keep this in the stand-up, she'll win the round. Question is she down 2 rounds to none?
Exactly. Frankie's Body Shop, a big advocate here for Shamir Peshewa, working with her extensively, and the cardio is showing. She continues to move here in the 3rd round.
King
big shots there by King.
Continues to move.
Big right hand finds its mark.
Oh,
big
right.
shot. Down goes Shamir, but now looking for the takedown. If she gets the takedown, this is crucial. Could be a game changer.
King sprawling and punching, trying to stay up.
And now up against the cage. This is going to make the takedown much easier for Shamir.
Oh, King started to grab that cage.
And King back up again. Wow, what a war.
Well,
These ladies have put on such a fight here for the fans. The fans have erupted in support of Shamir Peshewa, but also props to Natalie King, man. She has been here from start to finish. Nearly submitted in round 1.
King sticking knees, and now they separate.
Oh, wow, and again, slips that punch. Going for the takedown does Shamir Peshewa. Less than a minute left in this fight.
Buys time, too.
And now a double underhook by Shamir. That is a very, very strong position.
Shamir keeps wanting to hook that leg for that inside trip takedown.
Oh, big knee there by Natalie King, nearly caught by Shamir Peshewa.
Well, you can see the back of the right knee, like the thigh. Look at those kicks, and look at the bruising on Shamir.
Both of these ladies certainly battle-tested here in this fight. Now Natalie King opens up here to close it out. Shamir continues to look for that takedown. What a fight.
Wow. Unbelievable. The question is how did the judges see those first 2 rounds?
Exactly. And, you know, the near submission, it really stands out in the first round. Now, in retrospect, I'm thinking about what really stands out in that first round, that near submission. Although Natalie King was utterly dominant in the implementation of her striking, she landed way more shots than Shamir in any area, but Shamir did have that near submission, and that counts for something for sure. In the 2nd round, I give to Shamir. 3rd round, I give to Natalie King.
That big right is what started that sequence right there. So, Doug, what do you think? How would you score this fight?
Man, definitely that last round to Natalie. It's a tough score for me. I could almost swing that as a draw, depending on how the judges score that last round. Maybe if they score a 10-8 or a 10-9, which they probably will score at a 10-9. But under the right circumstances, I mean, I could see this fight going to a draw.
I kind of think that that King clearly won that 3rd round. I think Shamir edged out King in the first 2 rounds, but how did the judges view it? Because there was the control for Shamir over an extended period of time, or were they influenced by the strikes of King prior to that?
Right, but that 2nd round when Shamir got that last single leg takedown, that could have pushed her over the edge in that 2nd round, and which could possibly give her the fight. If the judges score that 2nd round even, then this fight will be a draw.
Well, Shamir has to be proud of herself. I mean, as a pro debut, she's come a long way, and for her to perform well, I'm sure she wants the victory, but I think there's a level of pride one way or the other. with her performance, and she's in there dancing and still with plenty of energy, knowing she's got a whole bunch of fans and friends out in the stands supporting her here at the Knoxville Civic Coliseum. Valor Fights 47 live at flowcombat.com. All right, we are ready to find out who has won this bantamweight bout, professional MMA. Let's find out our winner from Jennifer Oxenden.
After 3 hard-fought rounds, we go to your judges' scorecard for decision. All 3 judges scored this fight at 28-29. For your winner by unanimous decision, out of the blue corner, Shamir Peshewa.
Wow, emotional reaction from Shamir Peshewa from KMAA in Knoxville. Overcome with emotion. I think that's right. It's what we talked about, Doug. First 2 rounds to Shamir. King won the 3rd round, 29-28.
Right over here, right
that's
over
kind of how I figured it would go.
Shamir.
Casey with our popular winner.
A fight. You know, it's been a long journey since day one. You actually had a Fight of the Year candidate earlier for 2017. But there's nothing like that pro debut, getting your arm raised in the Knoxville Coliseum, your hometown, and listen to that crowd go wild. Talk about it.
I'm so incredibly blessed. Everyone in this freaking arena loves me, and you can tell. I came out here, this is the first fight that I've ever felt like I could just put it all out there. And it didn't matter, win or lose. I just wanted to focus every minute, listen better, do better every single second. You get a choice every second of your life. You can sit there or you can do something. And this is the first fight where I let it all go. I didn't think I was gonna get here. Last year, a lot of people know, some people don't. I broke my arm. And I didn't think I was gonna ever get to go pro. I didn't even know if it was a future for me. But I love this sport so much, and you have to bury me before you get me out of a cage.
Talk about this fight a little bit. The fight itself, Natalie King came to bang, and I'll tell you, she was landing big shots. She just got a knockout in a pro boxing bout just a few weeks ago. You took her hardest shots. You got it to the ground. You did what you did best, time after time, and persevered. Is this the toughest fight you've ever had in your life?
This is by far the toughest fight I've ever had. Some people have had good moments, but this girl came forward the whole time. I used to rescue pit bulls, and she got that pit bull look in her eyes, you know? And I love that. I absolutely love that. I try to befriend everyone I've ever fought. This girl's a warrior. Everybody give a clap, give her your hands up for this girl. She might have broke my orbital. It might be broken.
I'm gonna ask you one more question, I'm gonna let you go. You know, one thing that really stood out in this fight, you know, you fought hard and persevered, but your feet never left you. You were moving the entire fight. Even in the 3rd round, you were on those wheels, and I know that's a testament to your coach there, Eric Turner, all the people at KMAA, Frankie's Body Shop, everyone that got you in shape. Everybody talks about the skill and the technique, but in the end, it's the heart, it's the ability to keep moving. That stood out to me. Talk about your training and preparation.
I actually don't train at Frankie's. They're awesome, but I train at my gym, Marvel My Fitness. I love Frankie's, they're part of our family too, but this is what I do for a living. I don't have a physical trainer besides myself. I'm in the gym yelling at myself. Jessica Worth, she's somewhere. She's my protege, she helps me. She helps me get through this. Eric, Tim, my husband, everyone pushes me. The footwork is something Eric actually noticed earlier in the year. He was like, you're a dancer, let's be a dancer. So I started dancing. And it started working. In October, I was like, I'm dancing, and I made a few mistakes and got caught, but I'm a dancer. I just love to dance.
All right, I'm gonna let you close your eyes for a second. I'm gonna say it one more time. Put your hands together for your winner, Shamir Peshewa.